All right. Hello, Professor. My name is Antonio. I'm about to start my presentation. I'll try to be brief since I only have 5 minutes. So my topic or my main question is hosting a World Cup actually beneficial to the host country? Will it bring any economic benefit? Here we have the agenda for my presentation, which is very simple. All right. So before starting the main point, let's see some history facts about the FIFA World Cup. The first World Cup took place in Uruguay back in the 1930s, so almost 100 years ago. And coincidentally, the World Cup winner was the host country, Uruguay. Although the World Cup is celebrated every 4 years, it was not celebrating during the 40s because of the World War II and all the conflict that was happening in Europe. Sorry. Um, we also need to consider is that the World Cup is arguably the biggest sport event in the world. To see how big it is, we can compare it to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl had last year around 100 million viewers in the final, compared to the 3 billion people that saw the 2019 World Cup in Russia. With that information, you can see how big is the World Cup and how popular it is around the world. And lastly, the winner of the next World Cup, which will take place in Qatar this December, will get a prize of $50 million if they win the final, which is a big amount of money. We also have here in the figure one, the football player Pelé, one of the greatest players in football history. In his career, he won 3 World Cups, which is an astounding number. All right, first, does hosting a World Cup have any benefits? Is it actually a good idea? Well, first we need to see the feel-good effect, which basically means that people in the host country feel better, feel proud and happy that their country are hosting a World Cup. We also have to consider the international image improvement after hosting a World Cup. People will see that the hosting country have a healthy economy that can sustain the future investments and the expanding of businesses. Also, in the short term, the World Cup creates a lot of jobs, and it can even increase the GDP of the country in the short term, something that was documented in the German World Cup. And also it is estimated that the next World Cup in 2026 could generate $5 billion in the short term, according to the US Soccer Federation, which it's honestly a really big amount of money. However, we need to see the other side of the coin, which is the downsides or the consequences of hosting a World Cup. First of all, every country hosting a World Cup must meet minimum infrastructure requirements. Things like having enough airports, enough streets, stadiums in good conditions, and other things like public light. In relation with the other point, there was a problem in Brazil that after the World Cup in 2014, one stadium that was created with the purpose of using the stadium in the World Cup was abandoned after the World Cup, and they wasted 300 million in that stadium. And not only that, but to maintain the stadium, they need around $560,000. However, the stadium is only generating 180 in revenue, which of course will increase the debt. Also, the tourists that are coming to the country with intentions of seeing the World Cup may scare regular tourists. That means like people that go to a country in a general basis may just skip that place because they know that all places will be really crowded because of the World Cup tourists. Also, a big part of the revenue, like ticket sales and television rights, goes to FIFA instead of the host country. So in other words, a big part of the profits will go to FIFA, leaving the host country with less revenue. So after seeing all that, my conclusion is that unless a host country already have the necessary infrastructure, like stadiums in good conditions, airports, public transportation, hotels, and public lighting, there is no point in hosting a country if you want to increase or to improve the economy. Because in the long term, the country will end up losing money and even increasing their debt. So that's why I consider the idea or the action of hosting a country not economically beneficial. Thank you.